Ready, I bet. The Christmas one.
I tried. I tried not to, but I had 3 before we got on.
Welcome in the latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. I go by SEC Mike on the Twitters. And there he is, everybody's favorite cousin, except for when he makes us go hours early. Cousin Shade, how's it going, brother?
Oh, buddy. This is not cold beer. Going to a softball game, so I appreciate you guys coming in a little bit early. This will be the last show. I promise that I've got to change the time. Next week will be a full ghost. But, yeah, you know what it is, Mike? I couldn't wait any longer to get these picks out. You know, everybody's been asking me all week, who you locking down? Who you locking down? I don't think they really want me to lock their team down.
No.
But somebody may be hurt today, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I can promise you, whoever Shane locks down, you would be very wise to head on over to MyBookie, the online sports book, presenting sponsor of the show. Put in that promo code, that SEC. They'll match your initial deposit, minimum $50, maximum 50. Come on, what have you got to lose? This man cannot get a MyBookie lock to save his life. How many now you missed in a row? 4 or 5?
Too damn many, Mike. Too damn many. But I feel like, you know, that's the thing. I don't go into a lock picking the wrong one. I'm like super confident that they're going to win. And I'm very confident this team's going to win today, Mike.
Well, I was chatting you up off air, Shane. I'll let the listeners know. We've got, if you missed it, I posted it this afternoon. Anwar Richardson, Orange Bloods. God, he's on cloud 9. Texas is running the SEC, maybe ruining the SEC, running college football. So go check that out. I did his show this morning as well, so go check that out. And then haven't posted these yet, Shane, but got done just a little while ago with Tyler Siskey from McCready and Siskey.
Yeah.
You guys are not going to want to miss this one. Really good stuff. I mean, he caused a shitstorm over there on the internet. Let's call it what it is here with some of his comments. So he rehashed a lot of that. Really good interview. Probably going to post that maybe tonight, at the latest tomorrow. And then one of our all-time favorites, Tony Basilio, just got off the line with him to preview this Tennessee-Alabama game as well. And that's kind of a part 1 of part 2, where I'll be on his radio show. And Shane will be there too. Calhoun's on the River tomorrow. If you're in around Knoxville, come hang out with us. 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. And quite frankly, I'll hang out afterwards in case anybody comes in late. But
yeah, that's
going to be fun. And then afterwards, we're going to be on campus, Ayers Hall, for Paul Feinbaum show around 6 o'clock Eastern. And I'll be going on around 6:30, 6:40. They're probably going to like turn the thing off, and then they'll let me go up there and act like I'm on the show. You know what?
Yeah, not even be recording.
Yeah. So just an opportunity to come hang out.
Well, that's enough time, right? Like 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Well, I could get up there. I could get to the top of that mountain by then, right, Mike?
well, maybe we'll send a chopper or something for you, huh?
Yeah. No, hey, it's going to be fun. That's what matters. And, you know, this is a game that's near and dear to me growing up, especially third Saturday in October. You know, it kind of lost its luster here the last 10, 15 years, but it feels like it's starting to fire back up. And that's what we love. And this is, again, 2 teams coming into a matchup thinking they're going to win. But hey, if you just want to come up there, grab a cold beer, we'll be at Calhoun's. And if you can't make it, maybe after work or something like that, it is pretty cool watching the ESPN crew, watching them work and everything like that. So you don't have to just check out Mike's. There's going to be a lot of great people on that show tomorrow.
Yeah, you never know. I don't have the full lineup, but it's going to be quite the lineup, the SEC Nation crew.
Yeah.
And it's always hilarious, Shane. So they have it, you know, they let you go right up to it, but it's all like barricaded off.
Yeah.
And to get back there, you got to kind of go through the barricade. And, you know, I've done it a number of times, but I'm always like, hey, can I get back there? And they're always like, there's no shot in hell you belong back here. You know, they always got to double check, triple check with security. And then they're like, okay, I guess that guy's keep an eye on him. But yeah. I guess he's allowed back here for a minute. You know what?
Yeah, it's like me going to a buffet. They're like, is he on the list? You know? Hey, before we jump into the show, one last thing, Mike. I want to wish my brother, the Flying Hawaiian, a happy birthday out there in Hawaii. He was one of the OGs, the first ones on the show, and I appreciate everything he's done for the show, kind of behind the scenes. But love you, brother. Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
You ready? Not to make some picks, but PrizePicks. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Daily fantasy sports over at our buddies PrizePicks. Go over to PrizePicks. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's just you're picking between 2 to 6 players to go over or under their projected yards, touchdowns, what have you. And we love it because they got the college football selections. If you go on over, sign up for PrizePicks, put in that promo code SEC, play $5, get 50 inch. I mean, you can't beat that, Shay. You can't beat it.
You can't.
And our buddies over at PrizePicks too. We announced this on the last one, but I'll share it here too. With the NBA is about to kick off, Shane, and former Georgia Bulldog Anthony Edwards. As long as he scores 1 point, he's one of the best players in NBA. As long as he scores 1 point, you get you a free or a win, on the PrizePicks. So really, you just need one winner to go along with Anthony Edwards scoring 1 point. Are you ready for my PrizePicks this week?
Dude, just think about that. You just need one right, and you know which one it is. You got it in your pocket. Like, this guy's going off this weekend. So, yes, let's hear what Mike's got to say.
All right, so Jalen Milroe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you ain't gonna like
4
this one,
interceptions.
Buddy. Longest rush. This is another reason I like the PrizePicks. They got a lot of variety here. Longest rush, 16 and a half yards. Give me more. I think he has at least one rush that is 17 yards or longer. You just know, Shane. Tennessee's going to be a 3rd and 18, and this man's going to bust loose for a 19-yard gain and keep a drive going. How can you pick against that?
Well, my scenario was it's at the end of the 4th quarter. They know they need to launch it up, and some try to trick play, and he gets tackled, but he gets 20 yards in the progress. So I do one thing. He is one of the most, if not the most, electric player in college football right now. And one of the things that he's really good at is running the damn football. So it would not blow my mind to see the over here.
And here's the beauty of this one, Shay, with Tennessee's defensive line. It's not even you're not wagering on him having 17 rush yards in the game.
Yeah.
He may not even get there because they may be sacking him, they may be harassing him, but the wager is can he get a 16 and a half, so 17-yard rush at some point in a ball game?
Yeah.
I like it there. I also like Jalen Milroe half a rushing and or receiving in case they bust out any. This is more about the rushing, but in case they do some trickeration and they throw the football, give me Jalen Milroe over half a rushing and or receiving touchdown against the Vols. This Tennessee may win, Shane, but I don't think they're going to keep Jalen Milroe completely out of the end zone on the ground.
I like how you butter me up there. Like, Tennessee's going to do really good, but he may score a touchdown. So, yeah, I mean, what Jalen's you going to throw out here, Mike?
All right, how about Nico? I got one for Nico.
Okay, there we go.
199 and a half passing yards.
Yeah?
Less. Give me the less. He hasn't thrown, I think, a touchdown in the last 3 conference games. He hasn't hit 200 pass yards, so I like the less than 199 and a half pass yards against Alabama.
Let me look, see if they played Bama yet. Oh, no. This is the first time they played this secondary.
So, honestly, how you feel about that, though, Nico? Under 200 pass yards.
I don't like it, Mike, because I feel like this is a defense that is going to try to sell out the run, which also means keeping Nico contained. And I feel like this is going to push Nico to throw the football. So I like the over here, personally. I'm never wrong. Never.
Well, yeah, I know you like this one. Brew McCoy.
Yeah.
He's not been MIA. They just been spreading it around. This is too good to pass up, I think. Brew McCoy, 25 and a half receiving. Give me the more. He's going to get 26. He may get this in the first play of the game. He may get 27. At home, he always steps up. You know what?
He really does. And he's a crowd favorite, so absolutely, I like the over here.
And then one final one I got here, Shane. Dylan Bell, outstanding receiver. He's emerging as Carson Beck's go-to receiver at Georgia.
Yeah.
Give me 51.5 receiving yards against Texas. Give me the more. So I think he can get to 52 receiving yards for Dylan Bell because, hell, I mean,
I think he's going to need it.
Yeah, exactly. I think if Georgia finds success, they're going to have to throw the ball. And even if they get down, they're going to be throwing the ball. So this feels like a winner either way.
Yeah, no, I like this. And honest, I hate to say it, but could get it in one play. Don't think it happens, but obviously this is Beck's go-to guy.
Right. Well, you're my go-to guy for these projections, Shane. So let's get into it. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I always forget here, Shane. Shout out our guy, James Bryant. What a guy. What a meteorologist.
Damn, yeah.
Week 8 weather report from our buddy James Bryant. Let's kick it over to him.
Well, meteorologist James Bryant here at the KATV podcast studios. This is the home of the Hog Central podcast. And if you're interested in the Hogs, give it a listen. New episodes drop on Tuesday. Week 8 has a great slate of SEC games. I'm really excited to watch all these games Saturday afternoon and evening. Gonna need multiple screens again this week. And with the great slate of games, we get great weather. Really fall-like weather has finally moved into the southeast this week. It's been cold in the mornings. We're going to start with the early slate of games and work our way down to the night slate of games. So the first game of the day is Auburn at Missouri. That's 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern on ESPN. We get upper 60s at kickoff, and the high is 73 with a light south wind and clear skies. Several of these games, really, it's just copy-paste for weather as we go to the other morning game, 11:45 Central, 12:45 Eastern at South Carolina at Oklahoma. Upper 60s at kickoff, a high of 73, and they'll have south winds around 10 miles per hour in Norman with partly cloudy skies. Just 2 morning games this week. We'll move to the afternoon slate, the big game, and Cousin Shane, Cousin Mike, I know this game is particularly interesting to you guys. Alabama at Tennessee, 2:30 ABC Central, 3:30 Eastern. It'll be near 70 at kickoff, mostly clear at kickoff, and mostly clear during the game. We'll have calm winds, and temperatures could be falling into the upper 50s right after sunsets at the end of the game. So a really great forecast there in Knoxville. The other afternoon game is A&M at Mississippi State. That's 3:15 Central, 4:15 Eastern. It will be 75 at kickoff, mostly clear. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s by the end of the game. I'm telling you, weather is great across the conference this week. Next up, we're going to come back to Arkansas. Number 8 LSU travels to Fayetteville for the 6 o'clock kick on ESPN at 7 o'clock Eastern. It'll be 68 at kickoff in Fayetteville. We're expecting clear skies, light winds, and temperatures to be in the 50s by the end of the game. Great weather in northwest Arkansas. For Ball State at Vanderbilt, and I'm interested in this one because I'd love to see Vanderbilt be 5-2. I think that's really cool. That's the 6 o'clock kick on SEC Network plus 7 o'clock Eastern. It will be 68 at kickoff in Nashville on Saturday night. We'll have clear skies, light winds, and temperatures will be in the upper 50s by the end of the game. So great weather there. The warmest spot in the conference this week will be in Texas for Georgia at Texas. This is the 6:30, 7:30 ABC game. It'll be 81 at kickoff. We'll have partly cloudy skies. We will have a light breeze at 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the southeast. So not windy, but there could be a light breeze. And by the end of that game, temperatures could be in the low 70s. The final game of the day kicks at 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern on SEC Network. It's Kentucky at Florida, and it will be near 70 at kickoff there in Gainesville. We'll have 60s during the game, and winds will actually be out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour, so it will be a little breezy. Could have wind gusts of 15 to 18 miles per hour. So that's the weather for the weekend. It looks great. I can't wait to watch all these games, and guys, good luck this weekend. It's the third Saturday in October. Y'all have a good one.
All right, so shout out James Bryant again for that outstanding weather report. Give him a follow at KATV James on Twitter and meteorologist James Bryant on Facebook. He's got over 40,000 followers on Facebook. And he sent me a text, Shane. He said, beat Alabama's ass. I'm tired of seeing Alabama. He didn't say ass, but he said beat them. He's tired of Alabama, so there, he's trying to butter you up. You know what?
Yeah, now that they've kicked our ass, that's what you do. But I do appreciate the weather, and man, it looks good. It looks fantastic. What an awesome day to go out and watch a football game, brother. I mean, it feels like fall out here, and this is what we signed up for, man. hot chili, cold beer, football, have, just fun with your friends and family, and then stressing all damn night that your team loses or wins,
And the only cousin I like better than James is cousin JR. What a man. What a man.
Cuz.
JR just gifted a membership to Faith Thomas. Welcome to the family,
Welcome, Faith.
Oh, man. What a guy. What a guy.
We need a little faith in this family, Mike.
We need a lot. And I also wanted to give cousin Benny a shout out, Shane. In the comments, he says, hey, cousin Shane, I hit my weight goal. I am below 200 and I've lost 25 pounds so far. I aim to lose another 10 to 15. So, Shane, shout out cousin Benny. While you and I gain weight, cousin Benny's losing it. That's awesome.
That is awesome, man. That is truly awesome. And I've been doing better, Mike. I know it's been a while since you see me in person. The camera, it adds a few hundo. We know that. But I'm down to about 18 pounds right now myself. So,
wow.
Just been doing a lot more walking and eating less. Little Debbie kind of kicked my ass with these Christmas trees, but I only bought one box, not the whole display like everybody thought. So, and I'm done with that. So, as long as it's not in the house, I won't eat it. So, that I had to try it though. It's once a year,
Well, you didn't have to, but yeah, I got you.
Hey, come on, Mike. Come on. Where's better help at when you need it?
Oh, yeah, we can get there in a second. Shout out to Chase Floyd. He just gifted a membership to Andrew.
Hey, thanks, cuz.
Welcome to the family, Andrew.
Yeah, welcome, Andrew. Yeah, he's been around for a while, so glad he could join us. We got we'll probably announce it next week, but we're going to set up the second family reunion, so all the cousins are going to be welcomed.
Yeah, that was a great time last time. Shane got a little too drunk, but I'm just kidding.
Took my shirt off, things got crazy,
All right, brother. So let's get into the action. We only got one non-conference game here. Ball State.
Yeah.
At Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a 25.5 point favorite. What about this Vanderbilt team? This is America's team here. Vanderbilt favored. Again, 25.5 points. Over-unders 58. Night game, 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern on ESPN+. Who do you like in this one?
Who do I like? I love Vanderbilt. I mean, not only they play in Ball State is terrible. I mean, they are a really bad football team, man. And have you heard anything? It sounds like Pavia is going to be a go. But have you heard
Pavia
that?
don't miss games, Shane. Come on now.
Yeah, Pavia don't miss. He is, what do they call him? Not Johnny Football, but
Wani Football.
Wani Football. So, hey, I love this story. I think this is fantastic. Vanderbilt fans, I always wonder, like me being a Tennessee homer, at least I got a 98 championship. That may have been 80 years ago, but I still got it, and I still got some 10-win seasons, 11-win seasons, and we've got those moments. But Vanderbilt fans, they are different. They are built different, and they are true. I've talked to some great Vandy fans here this year, and it's always nice for something to happen to them, And
right.
They're on fire, brother. So this one's not going to be a football game. I enjoy it. A lot of points. Have fun in Nashville there. Vanderbilt 41, Ball State 10.
Oh, maybe 41-10.
Yeah. I feel like this thing really gets opened up. I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman, but I feel like, there's some chatter, man. There's some chatter about who's the best football player for their football team, and Pavia has got to be mentioned in that.
Right. Well, I like a lot of what you had to say, Shane, but again, go back to what you said at the start. You even asked if Wani Football is going to play in this game. So, he's got a little nagging injury, what have you. I don't think there's any doubt he plays, but they got Texas next week, and you don't want to be risking your potential Heisman winner here against old Ball State here. So, this would have been a perfect opportunity to segue to Manscaped with Ball State, but they're not a sponsor right now. But point being, Shane, again, Vanderbilt, I don't think they're built to blow teams out.
Yeah.
As impressive as they have been, and as much as I'm rooting for them to continue this, I don't think they blow this team out. I think it's a easy victory. I think it's a decisive victory, but I think it's something like, I got it as Vanderbilt 28, Ball State 10. So I think it's chewing the clock, limiting possessions, just get the heck out of here and get on to Texas. So could they blow them out? Sure. But if they really wanted to, I think they just want to keep the momentum going, get us an easy win, give us an 18-point win. I think Vanderbilt fans would be happy with that, but I don't think Vanderbilt covers the spread.
Well, I disagree. I think, I feel like some of those 8-yard plays we saw against Bama will become 48-yard plays against teams like Ball State. So I'm not saying that they just go out here and, just kick off an electric offense. I just do not think that Ball State will stop them on defense, and that's why every possession I think will result in a score. So, you 6 possessions, you got 42 points, or 41. They missed an extra point.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. You know what?
Absolutely.
All right, how about this one, Shane? Boom, Texas A&M. They're coming off a bye, 2 weeks to prepare. On the road, though, tricky game always for them. Mississippi State, Texas A&M favored by 15 points on the road. Over/unders 56. Total points. Game kicks off at 3:15 Central, 4:15 Eastern on SEC Network. Does Texas A&M keep that momentum going, or is this the signature win of the Jeff Lebby era?
Oh, my Texas A&M Aggies. Man, look how far they've come,
I'm just dying to see how many people in the comments are begging you to pick State.
Well, let's go ahead and lock this one down, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. This isn't a lock. Aggie fans were probably the ones that were on me the most not to pick this one. But I'll say this, brother. You got to be careful. I rewatched that Mizzou game, and everything went perfect. You know what I'm saying? That it was almost like the perfect play calling, the perfect. It's like everything that Texas A&M did there. It was flawless, and every mistake that Mizzou made opened up another opportunity for a score, or a turnover, and I'm glad that happened, and you're getting the recognition that you deserve. But you got to be careful with teams like this. The teams like this that you just think you're going to come in there, steamroll, and there's been a lot of good football teams. You're looking at their record now. The last 2 games in particular, Texas and Georgia, both of those, maybe not so much Georgia, but still kind of a game, even though you never expected it to be. I'm not saying that Mississippi State is going to pull off an upset here, but it is a football team that is chippy, that is violent, and that has nothing to lose. A&M's the team that has everything to lose here. So don't lose your poise. Don't lose what worked, 2 weeks ago. This is a football team that has an opportunity to maybe make a SEC championship. You don't do that by losing to Mississippi State. And that's why I've got them winning 35, Mississippi State 14.
35-14.
Yes, sir.
Buddy.
That's a lot of points. What is the spread there? It's 17, right?
I have it as 15.
15. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm still good with that.
Well, oh, Shane. You're absolutely right. Come on. I'm trying to figure out a way. How can we get Mississippi's? Again, I like what they've been showing. I like what Van Buren's been showing. He's progressing week in, week. But can you realistically do this week in and week out? Mm-hmm. After, hell, this may be the best 3 teams in the conference. They're playing back to back to back. I know there's a bye in there, but hell, I think Alabama would struggle. Tennessee would struggle. Insert team would struggle if this was the 3 they had in a row. Thankfully, this one's at home. Hell, maybe they play better at home, and maybe they do get this win. But I just don't see it, Shane. Now, unless Texas A&M struggles with consistency, because everybody has been struggling, aside from mighty Texas, everybody but Texas has been struggling this season. Look great one week, don't look great the next. So, and again, coming off a bye. Hell, I can't believe it, Shane, but teams coming off a bye got a losing record this year. Texas A&M's coming off a bye. That doesn't mean they're going to lose, but maybe the bye is not such a big advantage that we thought it was. Can Connor Wigman be that same dynamic playmaker he was against Missouri? Can he keep that going? We've only seen him play twice this year. Yeah. Once he looked awful. Once he looked amazing. Is he somewhere in between, or is he one or the other? I don't know, but that's maybe the key piece to get an upset here from Mississippi State. Got to get to Wigman like Missouri couldn't do. Force him into some mistakes. Stop Le'Veon Moss, but Mississippi State can barely run the ball, and Texas A&M's not giving up anything on the ground. So this just feels like a terrible, terrible matchup for State. So give me Texas A&M 38. Give me Mississippi State 20. I like A&M, and I like them to cover here.
You know, me watching Mississippi State is kind of like my parents watching me study for a spelling bee, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, good for him. Even though they know I'm going to get my ass kicked the next day, but good for him.
It's the effort that counts,
It's
right?
the effort. Yeah, look at him. Good for him, you know?
Cousin Josh says, thanks, Shane, for the easy win. Cousin Shane, Hail State.
Oh, God. I didn't lock it. You guys are good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of an easy win, Shane, you know what's an easy win?
What's an easy win?
Cornbread Hemp. Come on, brother. Come on over to cornbreadhemp.com/SEC. They'll give you 30% off your entire order. Again, I cannot recommend this company enough. It's a small business out of Kentucky. They sell THC and CBD gummies. I love the CBD ones for sleep aids. Never slept better that I can remember in my entire life here. So again, I love cornbreadhemp.com/SEC. Get your 30% off your order. They sent me some. I'm already ordering a second set of these sleep gummies. Could not recommend them enough. There are no synthetic ingredients, no sugar, no Farm Bill compliant, and legal for adults over 21. And I think some of these teams, Shane, they're going to need them some cornbread hemp after this weekend. You know what?
Absolutely, man. Oh, my God. They told me this would happen once Texas joined. You know, we're going to start.
Well, speaking of needing some help here, Shane, how about Kentucky at Florida? This line has flipped completely. It was Florida's favorite. Now it's Kentucky favored.
Ooh.
Kentucky by 1. So basically a pick 'em, but the game is in Gainesville. Over under 42.5 total points. This is the night game. SEC Network. Crazy things are going to happen, especially in the swamp, especially at night. 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central. What do you like in this one?
Mike, this is a game that I looked at for a little while, and it kind of, I couldn't get a pulse on it at first. And I feel like the problem that you have when you're trying to pick who wins this football game is you focus too much on the details. You focus on Billy Napier's future, Coach Stoops' future, DJ's first start, you know, if you will, possibly new running back in Kentucky. Kentucky has owned Florida the last 3 years, and both these teams. It's like you kind of trying to paint a picture on who's going to win this football game based on just little minute details. But take a step back, Mike. This is the Florida Gators. This is the University of Kentucky. Now, has it worked in Kentucky's favor the last 3 years? Absolutely. Still scratches my head, you know, when I think about the fall of the Florida Gators, if you will. But I don't know, man. You're in the swamp. DJ Lagway has no one looking over his shoulder anymore. It's his team. Billy Napier has absolutely nothing to lose. I guarantee he'll never not go for fourth downs anymore. This is a football team that has got a tough-ass schedule coming up, and this is a pivotal matchup because I feel like there's two camps out there, Mike. There's still those that are saying we need to give Billy time. That goes right out the window if you lose to the Kentucky Wildcats. But do they lose to Kentucky Wildcats? They haven't the last 3 years. They will this year because I'm locking it down. Oh, no. Give me the Florida Gators 28, Kentucky 17. You're getting your ass rolled down there in the swamp.
What happened to Big Blue Shade? I mean, that was just a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
I'm out, man. I tried. I really did try, but I just the offense frustrates me. The play calling frustrates me. The playmakers, there's just nothing. Now the defense, I love the defense. I think they're great, but they're not going to win this football game. And if anything, Florida, as much shit as I gave them, their defense is starting to come around. So I think DJ has a good game. I feel like this is a program that is going to upset a few more people on their schedule. So people gave up too early on Florida. Keep Billy.
Cousin Andrew, Florida fan, he says, "Oh Lord, Billy's gone now." Tennessee chick says, "Whoa, Cats win." Yep. I mean, that's where I'm at after hearing that. So I hear you, Shane, because Kentucky's offense is just awful.
Yeah.
I don't know what in the world they're doing down there, but I thought Florida's defense was pretty awful. But last week they showed up. Was that Tennessee's offense? Was it Florida defense? I don't know, but. What one game has not got me all bought in on Florida. It really has, particularly the defense. So I know they played their guts out, but how does the team respond, Shane, when you lose your leader, Graham Mertz, out for the year? It's tragic.
Yeah.
You played your ass off on the road. Tennessee, a team you own. Should have beat them. Could have beat them. Didn't go for two. Nope, no balls, Billy. Scared buddy don't make money. He's about to find out it makes him a lot of buyout money, I guess. But how do you get back up for another one like this, Shane? I think both these coaches, backs against the wall, got to win this one. You lose it, season is going to derail in a hurry. I don't have much confidence, Shane, but I swear I had this written down. And as soon as you locked up the Florida Gators, I was feeling good about the Kentucky Wildcats. Give me Kentucky 23, Florida 21. So a 2-point game. I think Kentucky's got a hell of a kicker this year. Mm-hmm. I think he boots one, maybe like a 50-yarder as time expires, gets us a win, gets us the hell out of here. 4 straight over the Florida Gators. Sends Billy Napier back to the Sun Belt. How about that?
Oh, no, I disagree. I think Florida's turned the page. Coming up to Knoxville, I mean, going toe-to-toe with them, should have won that football game. And I know that's not helping the situation here, but potentially could have been on a 4-game winning streak coming into this thing. So I don't think there is give up in this football team at all. And I think this is a preview to the next chapter. I'm not saying Billy's going to be here next year, but that's how important this football game is. If they win like I'm thinking they're going to win, there may be an opportunity here that we give him a little time down there in Gainesville.
Yeah, Citizen X says, my bookie, yes. All in on Kentucky. In fact, double it. James, appreciate you. Says THC gummies are a perfect complement to an SEC weekend. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so on with the show. I'm trying to think. Of who my lock was. All right. We haven't got to it yet. All right, next game on the docket, Shane. This is good luck, brother. Good luck picking this one. This one's even tougher, I think. South Carolina at Oklahoma. Oklahoma, a 2.5-point favorite at home. Over-unders 41 total points. It's an early game, 11:45 a.m. Central, 12:45 Eastern on the SEC Network. Who wins this one?
What a battle of offensive coordinators here, Mike. Oh, Mike. You know, this one could be an ugly game and it could be an awesome game. I almost wish we got to see that beautiful weather forecast. I almost wish it was raining, muddy, and it was just nasty, because this could easily be a 6-3 style football game, brother.
Yeah.
You know, I'm torn, because I don't think one of these teams has been lying to us, Mike. And I felt like it got a little exposed last week. And you're going to know who I'm talking about when they played Texas. This is a football team that has an awesome, awesome defense. They have awesome fan base. I'm glad that they're a part of this conference. But this offense may be one of the worst products I have seen in a long time, Mike. I mean, even dating all the way back to the Auburn football game that they won. I mean, it was literally 1 or 2 really good plays followed by a whole bunch of terrible ones. I mean, you could argue the defense won that game. I don't think they can win against South Carolina with just defense. The problem they're going to run into is South Carolina arguably has the greatest defense in the country. You think your quarterback's running for his life last week, boy, you just wait for the pair they're bringing in to Norman this week. This is a football team that is not getting enough respect. I'm going to go ahead and let you know I'm picking South Carolina. I almost picked a lock, honestly, for this one. They're probably happy I didn't. But I think about their schedule and what they've accomplished. They should have beat Alabama. They should have beat LSU. This is a team that could be 16, 17 in the country right now if it were just a couple good plays or a couple good refs go their way. You know what I'm saying? South Carolina does not lose this football game. Now, the only reason I didn't lock it is because I still don't have confidence in the offense. So it will be a low-scoring game, but I've got South Carolina 21, Oklahoma 13. And this is pivotal, Mike, because if this does happen, Oklahoma doesn't make a bowl game.
Right. The barn burner, 20, what'd you say, 21-13?
21-13.
Oh, buddy. Do you think we see multiple quarterbacks from Oklahoma in this game? I mean, I don't even know if it's I don't even think it's the quarterbacks at fault, you know?
No. But it's the knee-jerk reaction to blame them. You know what I'm saying? This is play calling 101. Yeah. And I understand the receivers hurt. I think that one of the things that drives me nuts is the narrative that Dion and Nick are sitting out, you know, to save their red shirt. I don't think that's where this football team is. I feel like they are riddled with injuries, but even if you got both those guys back, even the last few weeks, I still don't think they would have won those football games. So I'm up in the air with Oklahoma. I still feel like they've got a strong core. I absolutely love this defense. It's going to suck like later in life when you have. I always think about Tennessee. We have the defense we have now. I said, man, if we could pair that with the 22 offense, we would have been unstoppable. I feel like that's what Oklahoma fans are going to say one year. It's like, hey, man, if we could pair this offense with 24 defense, we would have been awesome. So I don't want to think of it that way, but. There is absolutely no, they're not scoring any touchdowns, Mike. If you're not scoring touchdowns, how are you going to win a football game?
Do they score a touchdown in this game?
Well, I almost said a defensive touchdown, but I do think they get one in here.
Yeah. So it sounds like you like Dow Loggins better than old Seth Luttrell, huh?
Loggins had moments. And I mean, if you watch the Bama game, I told you 4 or 5 tweets I had to delete because he made a good play. So he's not completely bad, but again, I feel like Sellers is getting a little bit more comfortable in that system. And hell, they took Bama to the end there. So yeah, I think they're close, but what it's going to boil down to for me, Mike, is rushing. Getting Rocket Sanders going, you know, and that's one thing Oklahoma's really good at. But if they make South Carolina one-dimensional, we may have a problem. But if they could keep Rocket going and give Sellers that opportunity to look downfield, I feel like that's what it's going to be. Don't force South Carolina to be one-dimensional.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of pride on the line in this matchup for both these teams. They both need it. The strangely, I mean, the statistics heavily favor South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, though, tough place to play. These two have never met, Shane. It's pretty wild. But these are some of the matchups we're going to get moving forward that we never had in this new look SEC. Oh, buddy. Is Oklahoma that bad, or is maybe Texas that good? Have you thought about that?
Every day. Every day.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to take that out of your mind, isn't it? The beating we just saw. And even Oklahoma had some opportunities early in that game to cash in to give themselves a nice lead. They couldn't do it. So special teams, not necessarily a strength, I don't think, for either one of these teams either.
Mm-hmm.
May come down to something like that, Shane. May come down to a block kick or return kick or a mistake more than anything, you know. But like both these defenses, not liking both these offenses. But I'm glad you went with South Carolina, buddy, because I've got written down here, Oklahoma winning this game. Even less points than you, buddy. 14, South Carolina 13.
What a game. Morristown Honda.
No confidence in either one. I don't know who's going to win it, but I saw someone in the comments say, well, what the hell, South Carolina? They don't play on the road. Nearly knocked off Bama.
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of Kentucky, both on the road. So I don't buy into that either. I mean, hell, they've been playing better on the road than they have at home this year, technically. So, I mean, no confidence in this one, but it goes back to what you said. Oklahoma may not win a damn bowl game
Yeah.
Not even make a bowl game, excuse me, if they don't win this game. That's how important this one is. They got to get locked in. Season's on the line. And hell, we're saying this as a 4-2 team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, they haven't been complete garbage or anything. It's just, I don't know. I think Auburn's still kicking themselves for losing that damn game. But
I do too.
I think that's a good one to look at, that they can manufacture some offense.
Yeah.
Because they scored a couple, 14 points on offense in that game. So if they could do something similar, I think they can beat South Carolina. But I don't have much confidence in it. I really don't.
That's really what it is, Mike. If you just eliminate the defense for a second, it's like, which offense do I like better? And it's not by a wide margin here. It's just slightly South Carolina.
Gary says 3-0 South Carolina wins.
Oh, gosh. What if it was like a 2-0 type deal, just got a safety in there?
2-0. Gary says, no way Oklahoma scores 13. All right, how about this one? Could be a really good game here, Shane. Could be a blowout. I don't know. We'll find out. Auburn at Missouri. Shane, Missouri favored by 4.5 points, over under 51 total points. 11 a.m. Central kick, noon Eastern on ESPN. And just a note, Luther Burden listed as probable, so we don't see any way he doesn't play. Noel, the running back, though, questionable. Hopefully he gets upgraded, but he may not go in this one. Thoughts on this, Tigers versus Tigers?
Oh, Mike, this one here, this one's a doozy too, brother, because it's all those nice things I said about A&M. Part of me wants to say, Mizzou's just not understood. They should have at least made that game competitive. I keep going back to that, but then I want to just erase it out of my mind and said, hey, you know what? Last week was a new week, and yes, was it an inferior opponent? For sure. But I got to see things in there that it didn't matter who they were playing. I saw a step forward, mainly with the offense. The defense has always been kind of tenacious, has always been disruptive. They're going to have to play a good game here because, believe it or not, Peyton Thorne is a good quarterback. I know he gets a bad rap, mainly from his coach, but I feel like he is a really good quarterback, very serviceable. And as long as he doesn't make those boneheaded mistakes, I think this is a team that could beat anybody. Maybe not anybody, but at least 75% of this league.
Yeah.
But, Mike, big but here. It's Hugh Freeze, And Hugh Freeze finds ways, especially this year, to screw things up. And Mizzou, I feel like they turned over a new leaf last week, brother. Do you know what this game is?
Homecoming?
Yes. Back in 2001, when I played for the Jefferson County Patriots, you know what we did for homecoming? We scheduled shitty teams. Why? Because we wanted to blow out everybody that we play. That's what you do. You always schedule the worst team on homecoming because you don't want the girls being upset as they're getting crowned. No. There ain't going to be no upset Mizzou fans in this football game either. Give me Mizzou 31, Auburn. They blew it 28.
Oh, buddy. Shout out to Slick. What a guy. He just donated a membership.
Cuz.
Appreciate you, brother, to Cousin Gary. Welcome to the family, Gary. Ooh, boy, man, what happened? I mean, I'm seeing it. These Auburn fans they're like, how dare you? How dare you, Shane? Why you hate
happy?
Yeah. They're still clean. I mean, if they lose this, they're 2-5. Good night.
Yeah.
2 weeks to prepare. This is must win territory here, Shane. And this is the type of game. You can turn your season around right here.
Mm-hmm.
If you beat Missouri, you're underdogs. Maybe this is how we get to a bowl game. I think that's the type of stuff that's on the line in this matchup for Auburn. Meanwhile, Missouri, still got everything ahead of them. But you're right. I don't. Well, no, I think you're wrong. Because the way you're saying get right against UMass, I take nothing from that.
Really?
Hell, they didn't even look that good. I didn't think. I mean, Luther Burden scored on the second play. I was like, okay, This team's who we thought they were. And I'm not talking about Mizzou. I'm talking UMass. So I gained nothing really from that. This is the game we find out if Mizzou is rebounded or not. Because I still think they could be fraudulent. I think they could lose this football game, Shane, and be the laughing stock of the SEC because everybody's beating Auburn short of Alabama, A&M, and god-awful New Mexico. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel too good about this one either, Shane. I think this is real upset potential. I like everything you said about Peyton Thorne. He's playing his best football the last couple weeks. 9 out of 9, Auburn wins this football game. But on Saturday, Shane, Mizzou wins it 30-27. I think it's a ball game. I think it goes right down to the wire. This could save the season for Missouri. It could. And again, save is probably too strong a word, but this could right the ship for Missouri. I don't think last week against UMass was righting the ship.
2 wins in a row, that would be massive, man. That getting them right, I mean, because you talk about a hangover effect when you feel like you're on top of the mountain, you know what I'm saying, and you get knocked down a peg or two and embarrassed, let's just call it like it is. I feel like just stacking wins, going back to work, that's all it is, man. Don't worry about the playoffs. Don't worry about Heisman's. Don't worry about the NFL. You know, let's just focus 1 week at a time. And I know that's coach talk, coach speak, and you hate it, but I really think that's what this program needs is just to focus one at a time. And because anyone on their schedule can knock them off. And Auburn is a prime example of that. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really good this may be the best football game Saturday.
You know what both these teams need, Shane?
What do they need, man?
They need help.
Oh, God, how are they going to get it, Mike?
Better help. Come on. If you lose this game, sign up. This will cure your eels here. BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com/SEC. What is BetterHelp, you're saying? Well, it's online therapy, Shane. All you got to do, go over to BetterHelp.com/SEC. Again, they give you 10% off a month subscription there. You take a questionnaire. They get you lined up with a licensed therapist. You don't like your therapist? Give them a Hugh Freeze. 9 out of 9. It would have worked, but not this time. Get you another one. No charge for switching. You can switch as many times as you want till you get the right one over at BetterHelp. And don't forget that promo code SEC over at BetterHelp.com. Help yourself get over these tough losses. You know what?
Absolutely. Oh, shit.
How about this one, Shane?
Yes, sir.
I need help picking this one. LSU, come on down to Arkansas, Shane. A big-time matchup, top 10 showdown at night. Thank God the SEC is showing Arkansas some respect finally after about 25 years, giving them night games against top 10 opponents here. LSU, favored by 3. Arkansas has been a lot bigger underdog than that, though, and won the game, as you recall, over-under 55.5 points, 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern on ESPN. And before you make your pick, Shane.
Yeah.
Shout out our guy, James Bryant, weather meteorologist. Let me get this straight, he says. I mean, this is how you know this man is a diehard hog here. Arkansas's got better defensive numbers. Arkansas's got better rushing numbers. LSU's coming off an emotional rivalry game. LSU's coming off a bye and fully healthy. Arkansas gets a primetime slot, and Razorback Stadium will be packed. LSU has a great passing attack, but the recipe is there for a huge upset. Hopefully, Arkansas can get it going, and then he followed up with another tweet in recognition of how my picks have gone. The Hogs go lose. So, I mean, that's classic SEC fandom right there, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, well, like you said, when you pulled it up, there's a lot of footballs on the Arkansas side. So if you were just a layman, you didn't watch any football, you're just playing a video game. You popped in, and that was a zebra on the left and a tiger on the right, or I don't know, some other animal that's not in college football. You just say, well, the team on the right's got to be the winner, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones that got to be a top 10 program, right? They're the ones that should be getting the respect of this country, correct? Wait, you're telling me the one on the left, they're the ones? They are the ones that are going to come to Arkansas and not pull off an upset, but actually be the favorite and kick ass? I mean, that's kind of what you're telling me. And what, because Nussmeier had a couple really nice passes last week against Ole Miss Rebels? Is that what we're going to count it on? I think, Mike, what this really comes down to is one guy in particular, Taylon Green. Now, they've come out and they said he's going to be playing, but is he going to be 100%? Because unlike, let's say, Nussmeier, Taylor Green, to be 100%, needs to be mobile.
Yeah.
And if he is not, I feel like that could be a problem. And you're kind of hedging your bets on that, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I don't think he's going to be 100%. I just don't. I feel like he's going to be good. I feel like he's going to be a big part of this offense, but there may be a moment in this football game that we bench him. Now, I'm no doctor. I'm just freaking guessing right now, Mike. I just got that feeling. Let's just call it like it is, Mike. It's a gut feeling. And every time I get my hopes up, kind of like battered Vol, I'm surprised Arkansas doesn't have this thing. I've been rooting for these bastards all season long. You know, I've been telling you why they need to be a top 20 team. They, like Bryant said, everything has lined up. It looks so damn good to be true. But you know what's going to happen? LSU's going to beat them by 3 points, Mike. 4 points. 31, Arkansas 27. I do feel like Arkansas can win.
Yeah.
But I just, in the back of your mind, you just feel like battered hog syndrome kicking in here, that they're going to find a way to lose this thing. Because let's get back to what they did early this season. They found ways to shoot themselves in the foot.
Cousin Anthony says, you're not a doctor, you're a professor.
That's right.
I'm surprised you didn't lock this one either, Shade. But I like a lot of what you had to say. Remember, we highlighted it earlier in the week. Brian Kelly, 21-4 in his last 25 one-possession ball. That's elite. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Pittman's on the exact opposite. He's like 7-20 or something crazy like that. I think it's 7-15 or something in his last one-possession game. So, can Arkansas, can they really capture this momentum, Shane? Mm-hmm. Was it just a fluke beating Tennessee? I mean, Tennessee doesn't look too good. They didn't look great against Oklahoma. Oklahoma's obviously struggling. Didn't look good against Florida. Florida's about to fire their damn coach. And you needed overtime and a damn strip at the 1-inch line to get that one. You know what? So, I don't know. Arkansas resume's taking a hit. I like what you said about Taylor Green. No, I didn't like it, but I mean, it's accurate. I mean, the guy, of course, he's not even listed. He's not listed as like questionable or doubtful or probable. He's just not even listed. So that tells me he's pretty close to healthy. He's had 2 weeks to prepare. But one thing that's really worried me, if I'm an Arkansas fan, the LSU defense starting to heat up.
Yeah.
They looked a lot better. They played the best game. Maybe they're starting to figure out this Blake Baker system. I think that's what it is. And again, you know, maybe we were a little too harsh on Perkins. It's probably not Perkins' fault, but without him, the defense certainly looks better. So maybe they're fitting all the pieces a little bit better. Hell, they had 3 players that could have been game of the week last week. Whit Weeks and Swinson, and then Zay Alexander got the game ball. I mean, that's all 3 levels of your defense.
Yeah.
I mean, LSU's coming on. Garrett Nussmeier wasn't pretty, but he made the plays when they had to get done. Tiger Stadium. Come on, Shane. Come on. LSU, 30. Hate it for you, Hogs. Arkansas, 35. Upset on the hill. Shane, 2 back-to-back top 10 wins. Rank this damn team. Sam Pittman on the coolest damn seat in the country. What the hell we doing? I like Bobby. You're mad, Bobby Petrino. You didn't even mention Bobby Petrino, Shane. You talking Bobby Petrino over Blake Baker? I sure as hell ain't. I'm taking Bobby Petrino, 9 out of 9, Hugh Freeze edition. And I like Travis Williams too, defensive coordinator. I think he's better than Joe Sloan, the LSU offensive coordinator. So give me Arkansas, give me the upset. Let's just storm the field every damn game. Why not? Why not?
Let's do it. Hey, I think they would do it if they could keep winning like this. So, hey, I can see the scenario. I guess maybe I've been hurt too many times. You know, Arkansas in particular, I've believed and I've pulled the wagon, but Mike, I'm right there on the. I got to see it one more. It's like almost I got to see it one more week. I got to see it to believe it. It's like you said, Tennessee. Was that a bad Tennessee team? You know, did we catch them off? So you may be right. You may be right. And either way, I think this is gonna be a really good football game.
Mm-hmm. Bring that boot back to Fayetteville.
Yes,
all right, how about this
sir.
one, Shane? Oh, man, I can't wait to see where you go with this one. But we got Alabama, Shane, number 7 at number 11, Tennessee. Crimson Tide favored by 3 Over under 56.5 points. Game kicks off 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ABC. And if you just look at them football shades, this is a split damn game. I don't know who the hell. Both these teams, playoff aspirations, both these teams struggling in different areas here. How do you see it playing out?
That's the beauty, Mike, is you can kind of throw it all out. This has always been a tough matchup here the last few years because you always felt like Tennessee was gaining ground. Obviously, 22 was a fantastic year for Vol fans, followed up by last year an opportunity to win, but give it away to the last year Nick Saban. So I don't think Alabama carries that badge around like they used to. The last 10, 15 years, it almost felt like you were defeated before you even suited up.
Yeah.
Mike, I feel like this is a very, very close matchup. This is why I feel like the third Saturday in October, we're going to be talking about this particular game years from now because you've got Tennessee, arguably one of the best defenses in the country, going once against one of the most explosive offenses with Jalen Milroe being they got two damn athletes on this team that are going to be studs somewhere in the NFL. He's just 17, one of them, but give him some time. He's going to be really good. But on the opposite side, we got so many question marks. Like, I don't think Alabama has a bad defense. I don't think they had bad players, but they just cannot figure it out. I don't think Tennessee has a bad offense. I don't think that they've got bad players. I don't think they got a bad quarterback. I just think that they've not gotten in sync yet. So the question is, Mike, who figures it out this weekend? Well, everybody knows where my loyalty lies. But I'm going to tell you, Mike, in the 42 years of my life, I've seen more Alabama wins than Tennessee. And it's hard for me to pull on those Volunteers. But I'm going to. Morristown Honda, 28. Alabama, 27. They missed an extra point. Thank God, because I don't think we could beat this team in overtime.
Yeah. At all bad. This is slightly off topic, but
yeah,
I do apologize. This will apply to Tennessee, but really Arkansas. Shane sent over this clip. I want to play it because it's just so great, and it'll apply to the night game as well. But Sam Pittman was asked why these night games are so. Why is it so difficult to play in these night games? I want to kick it over to him. I apologize for playing this not with the last one.
Question from Easton, Coach. 5-1 in night games. Lots of teams do well at home at night. What is it about playing under the lights that gets everybody excited?
The drinking all day.
Well, there you have it.
No more needs to be said. You know what?
It's so damn true, Mike, because when I think about the Arkansas game and I think about the Tennessee Bama game, you remember last week I told you Neyland was rocking, and I told you that fan environment was part of the reason they won. These two places, again, fans can play a part in this victory. And if you want to be a part of it, if you want to storm the field, I don't know if we get a field storm in here, but I do feel like if Neyland is rocking, man, that is like having an extra player in that locker room, you know?
Right. The problem, Shane?
Yeah.
One team's got Jalen Milroe, and the other don't. One team's got old T-shirt the board down there. He's a big game coach, Shane.
Yeah.
Say what you want against Vanderbilt in South Carolina. The man can coach in a big game. And I think I trust him a little bit more than Josh Heupel in these big game atmospheres. I certainly trust Jalen Milroe. He's been in these wars a lot more than Nico. And Nico's got all the potential in the world. The plays are there to be made. It doesn't matter if you listen to these film guys. It doesn't matter if you're reading anonymous coach comments. I mean, they're all saying the same damn thing. The plays are there. They're not being made. Yeah. Did they get made today or Saturday? If they do, Tennessee will win this game. But I just don't know how you have confidence in that actually happening. Mm-hmm. Now, one guy you didn't mention, Dylan Sampson, I mean, he's dynamic. He may be the best player in this damn game. He's playing so well. If they can get him going, but again, I don't think they can unless they're pushing the ball down the field, making Alabama honor that. So that'll be critical in this football match too. Got to limit Jalen Milroe. Can't let him run wild. If he runs wild, I think this could be a blowout.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying he'll run wild, but I think he'll have some success. But both these teams desperately need it, and maybe that mystique, which I agree with you. I don't think Alabama's got that mystique anymore. But I still need them to lose. When you lose to Vanderbilt, mystique's out the window. Especially when Vanderbilt kicks your ass and not a fluke. But I still need to see him lose another one or two before I'm really ready to pick against them in a football game. So give me Alabama, not by a wide margin, 24, Tennessee 17. I just don't have faith in Tennessee's score right now. I don't know how you could.
Again, I feel like it's going to come down to Tennessee receivers and Bama secondary and who steps up. Because, Nico had moments last week even, but there were drop balls. And I feel like in those crucial moments, you got to help your quarterback. There can't be any drops. If there are, then Bama secondary wins, then Alabama wins this football game. I think if that is figured out, then a guy like Dylan Sampson can have heyday, So that's the one I'm watching this weekend, especially.
All right, final game here, Shane. What a showdown here. Game of the year, game of the century, game of the weekend. Georgia at Texas. Texas favored by 3.5 points, over under 56. This is the night game on ABC, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. What a showdown. Georgia's 51-3 in their last 54. Shane, how about it? Carson Beck, 18-2 as a starting quarterback. Who wins it?
Oh, Mike, this is the toughest one because we talked about it all week, Mike. Is Texas good or are they okay? Is Texas good and I shouldn't say okay, is Texas good or are they like a Georgia or are they like an LSU or like an Ole Miss? We're trying to, even Coach Sark came out earlier this week and said this is a good barometer to figure out where we are in this conference because everybody's looking at the Michigan game. Everybody's looking at the Oklahoma game, the Mississippi State game. Look at it, man. What prolific offense have you faced yet? You know what I'm saying? So I as much as we crown Texas as being the greatest defense in the country, we're kind of hedging our bets on who they've actually played. And now on the flip side of that coin, you've got the Georgia Bulldogs, which just have not put together 4 complete quarters, except for Tennessee Tech. This is a football team that does win, usually, but it's dumb mistakes that let teams hang around. It's dumb mistakes that let teams get ahead. It's mainly the defense, which this may be the worst Georgia defense I have seen since Kirby Smart's been down there.
Yeah,
and it kind of surprises me. I'm not seeing the rush up front. I'm not seeing lockdown corners. I'm not seeing an aggressive defense that nobody wants to face. Carson Beck is quietly having a phenomenal season. I mean, I don't think he's. You talk about completions. I think he's like number 1 in the country. He's finding his targets, but it gets overshadowed by the other teams that they play getting involved. So I think that's the problem with me, Mike, is I'm trying to figure out, is Texas really good or is Georgia going to put it all together? Now that this is a game. I don't think they were afraid of Alabama, Mike. I really did. I don't. I feel like they thought they were going to smoke the tide and keep rolling. But now they got punched in the face, and they got to be on high alert because everybody is telling them that Texas is going to beat them. This is the Georgia damn Bulldogs. This is Kirby damn Smart. They got a ton of talent over there. It's not like this is his first year on the job. Yes, it is in Austin, and I think it's going to be an awesome game. I mean, you probably have to be there already. I'd imagine the traffic's already backed out 2 states over. But Mike, the bottom line for me is I think Texas is legit. I think Texas is the number 1 team in the country, and I think Texas is never down in this football game, Mike. Give me Texas 35, Georgia Bulldogs barely hanging on to a playoff spot, 24.
Oh, God.
And they still got a tough schedule ahead of them. There may be a shot they don't make it.
Oh, buddy, you bought in hook, line, and sinker to this.
Hook 'em horns, baby.
And I see the Texas fans are upset now that you picked them to win the game, as they should be, because Shane can't pick it. How many Texas players is Kirby going to assault this week, do you think?
Damn. Over 3.
He wanted Arch Manning. If he gets a shot, he's going to take it on Arch. So, but, I mean, it's hard to fault. I mean, the better defense, it's Texas.
Yeah.
The better offense, looks like Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Home field advantage, a lot to like. But every time Kirby and company's doubted, these are the games they shine.
Yep.
They may drop a game or two, and hell, I was shell shocked, Shane. I felt like such an idiot. I picked them to beat Alabama at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you did too.
Yeah.
And they came out here and
I got a cat.
Yeah. And man, they just looked all out of sorts for about a quarter. I thought it was the end of the Georgia run till we saw them throwing up those Hail Marys and coming down with damn near all of them. Had the Ryan Williams not had that spectacular play, Georgia's sitting here undefeated. And this really is game of the year, game of the century, game of all time. Because we'd have undefeated Georgia, undefeated Texas. And with Georgia's backs against the wall, I can't believe you, Shane. I'm so disappointed in you. Buying into this Texas bullshit. They're coming in this conference. They think they own it. They ain't played nobody, Shane. They played, even you said it yourself, Michigan, come on. You picked Oklahoma to lose. You don't even think Oklahoma's going to bowl game.
No.
These are the teams they beat. They beat Mississippi State. Oh, God, I give a lot of respect to Mississippi State. They may win 2 football games this year, Shane. They ain't winning 3. Yet here you are, bowing down to Texas, and you forgot who's king of this damn sport. It's Kirby and Georgia. Give me Georgia 21. Texas 35. Block of the week. Texas go beat the hell out of Georgia, state number 1. And you're right, Georgia, they're not eliminated, but they're going to be hanging on life support after this game. And I think people are going to look at it and say, "Good God, what in the hell happened to Kirby and Georgia?" I think all this culture issues, arrests, all this, I think it's catching up to them, Shane. And I think the money's catching up to some of these guys too, because they don't look quite as dominant. They've lost their edge. When I look at these two teams play football games, there's one team that has an edge right now, and it's Texas. It ain't Georgia.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you, man. And I feel like Texas is getting healthy at the right time, and Georgia unfortunately took a little bit of a hit. For Georgia to win this football game, I'm not saying play keep away, and that sounds so crazy even saying, but I feel like that's what they're going to have to do is long established drives. Keep all those guys off of the field. This Georgia needs to win the time of possession. But can they? I mean, they're not even running the damn ball. Georgia Bulldogs, I grew up watching them thinking about, you're talking about running back you. That's the first team I always thought about. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing it this year.
They have to go to Florida to get their damn backup to get a starter,
And do nothing with him, except give them passes. So whatever. Keep doing it. See if it works, Bobo. No, I'm just kidding.
But again, I've got little confidence in most of these. This is going to be a wild weekend. Could go any way. There's going to be a lot of reactions. If things play out the way you see them, what's the big talking point on Sunday, you think?
Billy needs time, that is my lock right there. And maybe is Georgia in trouble? Because it's not going to be an upset, but I did pick a couple score touchdown here or a game. And if that happens, I feel like you said, because you can easily look at Georgia's schedule and say, hey, man, how confident are you they're going to win out? Because if they get beat by Texas by multiple scores, I'm not confident. So you're right. Georgia may be fighting for their lives here.
Right. And for me, Shane, again, I hope we're still mid-October. I hope we don't get to this point, but we may start where we'll look at it and be like, damn, Texas headed, not locked up, but it'll feel that way. Locked up a spot to the SEC championship. We'll see about the others, but maybe a collision course with Alabama or A&M for the other spot in that SEC championship game. Can't wait for it, but that'll be big. I think Tennessee, because I got them losing, you got them winning. I think that'll be a big talking point. What in the hell happened to Tennessee? And I think LSU could be a talking point too. If they win at again, let's throw up. I know you picked LSU, right?
Yeah,
I picked them to just barely lose, but hell, they may win. This is the team to keep your eye on, because if they beat Arkansas, the next two very tough at A&M, Alabama. But these, if they can win all these, they may win the damn national championship. Or at least they got to be put in the conversation, because aside from Texas, I don't know what other tests they hadn't passed.
Mike, I think the big one here for me is if they win tomorrow, or if they win Saturday, that you're looking at this schedule. Even if they drop the A&M game, not saying it's going to happen, but as long as they win out their home games, they're in the playoffs. So I dropping Arkansas, then you all of a sudden you're like, okay, A&M's away. That Kyle Field, that could get kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And again, it's a fight. It's a constant fight for the rest of the season. I'm not saying they can take their foot off the gas, but yeah, this is kind of that swing game, because we're now have to accept that LSU's a playoff team, but that all goes right out the window if you lose to an unranked, shouldn't be, but an unranked Arkansas Razorback team.
And then the last one here, Shane, what will the meltdown be?
Coach Stoops.
If we're
sorry.
we're wrong.
Oh, if we're wrong
about Mizzou, if they drop to Auburn, I mean that's going to be ugly, don't you think?
Yeah, because then you're looking at the rest. Well, I'm not saying they're out, but yeah, they're no margin of error anymore moving forward. So you just got to go down to Tuscaloosa and get a win. So good luck.
I think it's going to be a lot worse than that. But there's going to be a lot. And don't forget, Saturday we're going to do at least one. I mean, who knows how many emergencies are called? But either way, we're going to do one in the middle of the day. We decided to do that. We got a Tyler Siskey interview dropping soon. We got Tony Basilio dropping soon. We're going to be all with Tony Basilio tomorrow. Calhoun's on the River, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. to 1. And then Paul Feinbaum show, 6 o'clock to around 7 up at Ayers Hall on Tennessee campus. So come on out. Come hang a beer. Come chug a beer with Cousin Shane.
It's gonna be fun, man. Fall. I mean, it's beautiful campus, and I mean, you all been there before. And Tide fans, you're probably getting in town, checking the leaves, before we make you leave.
But I know you got to run. Anything else, brother, before we get off the line?
No, look forward. Don't forget. Yeah, the was it 3 o'clock Eastern time is about the time, somewhere in that range. So just have your notifications on, and when we go live, we'll just kind of recap some of the early games, talk about what's upcoming. But just kind of have, at that point, I may be about 4 or 5 beers in, so who knows what's going to happen, Mike.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, see you guys. Go Vols.